When I think back to the day of the college entrance exam in my past life, the memory still feels like a nightmare. My stepsister had secretly laced my brown sugar water with saffron. Before long, I was bent over with unbearable cramps, unable to even hold my pen steady. The pain was so intense that I was carried out of the exam hall in front of everyone, humiliated and terrified. Blood flowed endlessly, soaking half the chair beneath me a shocking red. My father dismissed it all with an indifferent wave of his hand, saying coldly, "She's just a child. Don't take it seriously." My stepmother, her pregnant belly round as a drum, sneered while I was writhing. "How could a normal period make you bleed so much? Maybe she's got some unclean disease." Even my grandmother, who should have cared the most, shook her head impatiently. "Always sick, always wasting money. Just a simple exam and you need a hospital? Better to die than keep draining us." That was the end of my short life. I bled out while the people around me turned away. Yet when I opened my eyes again, time had rewound to just before that fateful cup of brown sugar water. This time, I snatched it away and replaced it with the calming flower tea my stepmother liked to drink. That night, instead of me being rushed away, the wail of an ambulance rang downstairs for someone else. In my last life, I never should have died so easily. My grandmother had dragged me out of the hospital against the doctor's advice, yanking out my IV even though I could barely walk from anemia. 5 kilometers on foot felt like a death march. "Women don't die from a little period bleeding," she said coldly. "Besides, your stepmother's giving birth in 2 months. We need money for milk powder and diapers, not your silly treatments." The doctor had recommended antibiotics, but my grandmother refused, insisting she had medicine at home. What she gave me instead was for treating blood clots, not infections. Those 2 small words on the label sealed my fate. She locked me inside the house to stop me from seeking medical help, then left and forgot me. My father, meanwhile, took the rest of the family on a 5-day company retreat, leaving me to rot. No one thought of me until neighbors smelled something foul and complained. My body was found days later, and not a single tear was shed. My stepmother had delivered prematurely, and the family was too busy celebrating the birth of a plump grandson to bother with my funeral. Grandma said it was too unlucky to hold a proper burial and outsourced everything. Not one family member showed up. Why? I had never fought for affection, never stood in their way, never demanded more than scraps of care. Still, they treated me like disposable trash. I left the world bitter and unwilling, wishing only for another chance to live. And somehow that wish was granted. I opened my eyes once more on the night before the entrance exam. This time I swore to myself I wanted nothing from them. No father's love, no stepmother's affection, no grandmother's approval. I would survive on my own terms. After evening self-study, I was changing shoes at the door when my stepmother waddled over, slipping her pair into the cabinet first and warning me sweetly to mind her belly. My father was home, glaring daggers as though my very existence offended him. "Scarlet, are you blind or crippled? She's my wife, why should she serve you? Go fetch water." For years I had knelt to wash and massage her swollen feet every night, even while studying for the hardest exam of my life. My dying mother had once told me not to fight, not to run away, but to endure until adulthood when I could claim my inheritance. I had believed her words foolishly, but not this time. Instead of obeying, I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Isn't the husband of this family still alive? A pregnant woman's feet are swelling like pig trotters, and you expect a teenage daughter to rub them? Is a man's contribution to childbirth only that 1 second? I even made a mocking gesture as I spoke. My father froze, stunned that I dared talk back. Just as he raised his hand, my stepmother held him back with a teary act. "Don't frighten her, tomorrow is the exam," my father snorted. "If she manages to get into Tsinghua University, I'll give her this house." He never believed I could do it, convinced by years of lies that I was nothing but a troubled, mediocre student. Without hesitation, I pulled out paper and pen. "Should I sign or leave my fingerprint?" He scrawled his name, and my stepmother nearly choked on her own panic. Later, I discovered my period had come late because my stepsister had been slipping hormones into my drinks for weeks. On the morning of the exam, I left 10 minutes early and overheard my stepmother and stepsister whispering in the kitchen. They thought they had finally caught me in a trap. My stepsister had already ground the saffron into powder. "Don't worry, she'll never know," she said smugly. I slipped into the kitchen ahead of her and swapped the doctored sugar water with the calming tea. The next morning, screams filled the house. My stepmother writhed in agony, blood pooling beneath her. My father clutched her hand desperately, whispering reassurances, while my grandmother urged him to save the baby first. He rejected her without hesitation. When it came to Vivian, he would give up anything. The ambulance rushed her away, and the doctors quickly discovered saffron in her system. My stepsister's red-stained fingernails gave her away. My father struck her, demanding answers. "She's just a child," I mocked, throwing his words from my previous life back at him. But this time, he didn't protect her. For once, their chaos had nothing to do with me. I sat the exam with a clear mind, my pen flowing easily across the pages. For the first time, I felt light, unburdened. That evening, my father actually called me, something he had never done before, to say both mother and child had survived, though the boy was premature and weak. He spoke the baby's name, Leo, chosen 20 years earlier with his first love. I quietly hung up, remembering how my own name had been dismissed as worthless. My late mother had known the truth of him, a man who could never truly love me. She had made sure before she died that I would inherit enough to stand on my own. After the exams ended, I could no longer avoid the hospital. I arrived just in time to hear my stepmother cooing, begging for foot massages, and my father reaching for his phone to summon me. Fine, I thought. Let me show him how filial I could be. I marched in with cameras and a team of classmates carrying bags of diapers, milk powder, a belly binder, and a wash basin. In front of the rolling cameras, I cheerfully announced, "Dad, I'm here to care for my stepmother during her recovery. Don't worry." My father's face turned red, then pale, as he realized everything was being recorded for our graduation project, destined to be shown publicly at the appreciation banquet. If word got out that he forced his daughter to serve as his wife's postpartum nanny, his reputation would be ruined. Panicking, he shoved me out of the ward, forbidding me to come again. Perfect. The work of massaging, cleaning, and serving naturally fell to my stepsister, the one who had once plotted to destroy me. Day after day, her wrists reddened and her patience snapped. She smashed things in the room, cursing, "Am I a servant? Why should I do Scarlet's dirty work? Don't you see I have exams too?" I only smiled sweetly, pretending envy. "Wow, sister, your hands are so hardworking. Everyone must be so proud. Unlike me, they won't even let me touch her. I just eat and rest after exams. You're really amazing." Every word of mine added fuel to her fire, and so in this life, the roles had reversed. The burdens I once carried were placed squarely on their shoulders, while I finally breathed free air.